everybody, welcome back to Seed Explores. In this episode, we're going to go through our top 10 favourite destinations in Western Australia. So we have just finished our big lap around Australia and we spent a fair few months in WA, and we think it's one of the most beautiful states in all of Australia. There's so many beautiful places to visit. The coastline's incredible, the ocean is incredible, the ocean life, so much snorkeling, hikes, but we have managed to whittle it down to our top 10 places where you have to visit on your trip to WA.
Coming in at number 10 is Broome, and this is crop country. It's northern WA, but you have such a great contrast here with bright red coloured sand and dirt, and then you've got this beautiful blue ocean and then beautiful greenery as well. Roebuck Bay was one of our highlights there.
Yeah, that was just beautiful. That's where you get that famous kind of drone shot, if that's what you're looking for, of the red sand and contrasted with that really turquoisey blue ocean. It's just stunning there. There's a real great backpacker vibe in Broome as well, we found. Lots of nice little cafes.
The other thing that you can do in Broome, if you're there at a certain time of year, is you can see the staircase to the moon phenomena, which is an amazing spectacle where you can watch the moon rise over the mudflats, and because of when the tide's out, it looks like it's a staircase all the way up to the moon. We went out there and tried to capture it. We did get a bit stuck in the mud, but it was good fun anyway, and there was a really good vibe. The full moon party was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, there were some markets on there at the time we went, and that was like once in a lifetime opportunity to see that staircase to the moon in Broome. And also, of course, the most famous thing to do in Broome is to go and watch the camels walk across Cable Beach at sunset, which was just so spectacular. The sunsets in Broome are amazing, and you can just drive onto the beach if you've got your 4x4, park up, watch the camels go by, but yeah, just watching that sunset, it was one to remember. Our 9th location in this list is going to be Shark Bay. Now, this is an area that we went to and we stayed for a few days and just explored lots of little mini road trips, and we think it's great for that. One of our favourite locations that we visited in Shark Bay was Shell Beach. It's so unique. It's a beach that is completely made of tiny little shells, meters deep. You can get some really great photos there. Probably a bit uncomfortable if you just want to relax there, like we had to put a towel down if you want to kneel down or anything. They're a bit spiky, but it's definitely somewhere that you should go on your bucket list around Shark Bay. Another place that we also really enjoyed visiting was Denham. Yes,
Denham is kind of like the base if you're going to explore the Shark Bay area. They have the Shark Bay Discovery Centre, I think it is, and it's like a museum and gallery, and they had this amazing 3D film that they screened for free right in the Discovery Centre. They showed the history of a lot of shipwrecks on the coast, and there was one battle in particular which you can go and see in the Discovery Centre. Very cool, amazing cinematography, and we really enjoyed that, didn't we? But Denham as a small little town is a bit expensive but very cool. They have a nice little pontoon right in the bay there, and you can just jump off the jetty and play on the beach, and it's very fun.
Yes, that pontoon was so much fun. You can also go to Monkey Mere to see the dolphins, and if you got a 4x4, definitely go to Dirk Hartog Island. We had that, was incredible. We went in a 4x4, we couldn't go.
Coming in at number 8 is a quick stop on your road trip south, but it is a great spot to visit because it is something very unique, a vibrant pink lagoon just off the highway as you're travelling down towards Perth from northern WA. Amazing place to stop just for some cool photos and to check out this strange phenomenon with the bacteria in the lake that makes it vibrant pink.
Sometimes it's pink, but you also can see it and it could be red or lilac. It really depends on the weather, the lighting, the clouds, the bacteria. But the best time to visit is midday, because that's generally when you're going to get that sun right above you on down onto the lake, and it's going to be really vibrant. Great to throw your drone up and get some amazing shots there.
Yes.
Now, if you're traveling from Northern Territory and you're going into WA on the top end, then the first place you'll probably go to is Lake Argyle, and that is our number 7 location. This place is spectacular. It's absolutely ginormous. It is the size of how many?
19 Sydney harbours.
Yes, that is crazy fact. It is absolutely huge. And there's a caravan park that you can go and stay at there, which has insane views, and it's obviously just caravan fees. It was like 30 odd bucks a night for us just to park up there with our rooftop tent. But what this caravan park is known for is its infinity pool. You can go in there as a guest and just soak up those views. It's such great value for money because that pool is what you would find at probably like a really expensive resort somewhere,
Yeah.
because that view is spectacular. You can be in that pool right up until sunset, and it's really special.
One of our favourite activities to do at Lake Argyle was to take a barbecue pontoon out onto the lake and explore for the day. You can just anchor up anywhere on the lake, and there is loads to see there. There is cliff jumps, there is a massive lake to explore, there are wallaroos and crocodiles. There is in fact over 30,000 crocodiles in the lake. We went swimming in there from the barbecue pontoon, and the water temperature was so nice. I think it was about 28 degrees, what they told us on the day, and we could just laze in there all day. It was so beautiful. One of the surprises for me was Kalbarri National Park, and that is on the coast, coming in at number 6. It is a hiker's dream there, and there is so much to explore. You have all of the hikes to do in the gorge, but then you have the coastal hikes as well, which I think need a lot more recognition because they've started developing a lot of the area more with boardwalks over the cliff edges, and it's just so cool. I think it's going to be a real highlight of the WA coastline in years to come.
Yes, the hikes there were amazing. You could do a full length one all along the cliffs, and then you can also just take day trips if you're camped in town to the national park at the gorges. We did, I think, about 3 of the hikes there, and they've also got the famous Nature's Window, which is actually really accessible. It's just a 1k walk from the car park, but you also have other longer hikes. We had to go there and do it really early because it was still quite hot when we visited, so make sure you can try and aim to go here in winter, because it does get super hot during the day in those gorges. But we love this spot. We really enjoy hiking. So yeah, this was one of our favourite places, and a surprising place we hadn't heard much about, but one we'll definitely remember. Keeping with the hiking theme, we are going to go to the Australia Southwest now, and we're going to visit Bluff Knoll at number 5. Bluff Knoll is a really great hike and a little bit difficult too. It's one of the hardest hikes that we did in WA. It's very steep, but the views from the top, if you're lucky enough to get a clear day, because most people get cloud coverage, but if you are lucky like we were, you get the most spectacular views. You can see right out to the ocean back where Albany is. You can see the rest of the Stirling Range National Park. It's famous for sunrise hikes, so a lot of people go here super early and they summit the mountain at sunrise. Sometimes they get this beautiful cloud waterfall as well. There's some amazing photos and videos of that on social media. But we love this hike. If you do enjoy hiking, we really recommend this one. Bluff Knoll is about 90 minutes from Albany, so you can do this as a day trip if you're down the south, or you can just go there and explore that region. There's also Castle Rock nearby. Throw that one in too, because they're 2 amazing hikes you can do in that area.
So keeping in this region and coming in at number 4 is Denmark and Albany. Now they are quite close together, but they have such a great collection of cafe and community vibes. We really enjoyed this area.
Yes, we did. We first came into Denmark from the north when we were going around the southwest, and we visited Elephant Rocks, which I think is one of my favourite beaches in WA. It's just so cool, so unique. And then next to Elephant's Rock you have Greens Pool, which was just so stunning. It was this snorkel spot. You could see the locals were kind of hanging there. We had a little snorkel, so clear. I'd love to have spent longer there. So Albany is only located about an hour from Denmark, so you kind of do this whole area in one trip. But Albany has so much to offer. It's got all this beautiful coastline. It is currently home to Australia's best beach of 2022, which is Misery Beach. It is slightly nicer than its name, but honestly there's so many beautiful spots here. You can do the national park hikes. You can go to the Gap, which is this crazy walkway hanging over the cliffs looking down onto the ocean.
And you can see all of the geological processes that shape this region in action as the waves come in and crash against the granite rocks below. It's really powerful and so beautiful. One of my favourite things personally was driving into the region, because it was such a different experience to driving up North WA, where it's a lot hotter and a lot more sparse. And the trees here just completely changed. The whole environment looked different, it felt different, it seemed different. Driving through the forest was just a really cool experience for me.
Yes, and do not forget to go to the Albany Wind Farm at sunset. That was one of my favourite memories from our whole trip in WA, because it was just so surprising. I thought this wind farm looked kind of cool, and I thought we'll just check it out, so we're driving past, and it was just stunning. We had the most amazing sunset there, so definitely add that to your Albany list. Okay, time to go back up the coast. We are now going all the way back up to near Perth. And number 3 is Rottnest Island. This really cool island is located off the coast of Perth. You can go from Perth, or mainly you can go from Fremantle, which is also an excellent place you could go visit in the Perth region. But we did a day trip to Rottnest Island, but we would recommend you going longer because we wish we did have a few more days there. It is so cool. You hire bicycles or you can take your own bike and you just cycle around this island. It's not very big, but you definitely want some wheels to get around if you're there for a short period of time. There's so many cool beaches, places like the Basin, which is like this natural pool area. There's Pinky's Beach, there is Parakeet Bay, there is Cape York Bay, I think it's called. So many places that you'd have to go and visit, but one of the most famous things that it's known for is its quokkas. They are so cute. They're like tiny little wallabies. They're found on Rottnest Island and I think only one other island in WA. They're very rare. Not sure if that's true, Corey's not sure, but I read that it's found in other islands, but they're very rare, very cute, and they're very comfortable around humans, so they're going to be hopping around the village. They're going to be looking at you when you're eating. It's really hard not to just pick them up and cuddle them, but they are wild animals, so you have to leave them, but they are more than happy to take a selfie with you.
Yeah, Rottnest was just such a contrast from being in Perth and being in Fremantle. You go over there and you just feel like, Charlotte kept saying she felt like she was in the Mediterranean. It was such a different experience, like an island surrounded by beautiful beaches and a lot of like rocky granite outcrops and heaps of reefs to explore. We've had a lot of comments on YouTube of people saying that they've dived a lot out at Rottnest, and it sounds so magical. I wish we did have more time out there. But if you're into diving or lazing on the beach or just exploring, then we really recommend Rottnest Island as something to do in WA.
Yes, only 25 minutes from Perth. It is a must do. And now we're going to go to number 2 on our list, and that is
Cape Le Grand National Park, better known as Esperance. It's in the same area, but Cape Le Grand National Park is the spot you want to go to if you want to explore all of the beaches.
Definitely.
Hike some of the mountains there. It just had everything. It was so diverse, such a unique area, and we really had a blast here, didn't we?
It's just so stunning. This is where you want to go if you want to see those picture perfect blue, clear, turquoise waters. It was just so stunning. The Cape Le Grand National Park is located about 1 hour from Esperance town. There's also beaches near Esperance, but we think Cape Le Grand is the standout of this area. You have Hellfire Bay there, which is just one of my favourite beaches that I went to in this region. You've also got Frenchman Peak, which is a grade 5 hike. It's very steep, but it was really fun. It had the most amazing views of the national park. And you've also got the famous Lucky Bay Beach. This is where you go to see the kangaroos on the beach. You can take your 2-wheel drive onto the beach too because it's so compact, and it's also home to the whitest sand in all of Australia.
There is a famous campsite there, Lucky Bay campsite, and it is famous because you have kangaroos on the beach. They forage in the bushes there and on the shore. They're so comfortable with humans, but to get to this campsite you need to book it months in advance. It is so popular and not very big, but there is so much more to this area as well. If you have a 4-wheel drive, you can explore a lot of the beaches, you can drive all along some of them, and you can do a little bit of rock climbing too. We really enjoyed some of them outside of Cape Le Grand National Park, like Wiley Bay Rock and Warton Beach. They were incredible to visit as well. But even over by Esperance, you've got some amazing beaches too. Twilight Beach is one of those favourites as well, and if you were going to market Australia outside of Australia, photos from here are the ones you would use. It is picture perfect, it is beautiful, and we really enjoyed hanging out in this area. We actually had an experience in the area and we had a little bit of bad weather, so we came back a couple of weeks later and it was perfect weather. We just had the best time. It was so nice.
Alright guys, now it's time to share our number 1 place in all of WA, and it's probably not a surprise to many people that have been to WA, but our favourite place is Exmouth. We had a few weeks in Exmouth and we kept extending our stay. We just love this place so much, and we understand why so many people spend a winter season here. The actual town itself is really cool, some nice cafes, pretty laid back, definitely a backpacker kind of traveller vibe, but it is actually what the area offers that we love so much, and that is the amazing coastline, including the Ningaloo Reef.
I'm going to go so far as to say that Ningaloo Reef is more accessible and more enjoyable to everyone than the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh my god. The reason we love Ningaloo Reef so much is because it is so accessible. You could drive down the coastline and then you can just pick whatever beach you'd like to go to, hop out your car, walk on the beach, and then jump right into the water, and you're there on the reef with all the fishes, the turtles, the reef sharks, or bigger sharks sometimes. And then if you're there at a certain time of the year, you can also see the whale sharks, which would just be so incredible. We could not get enough of this place. We absolutely loved it. It's probably one of the most beautiful spots in all of Australia, and I think it's a very underrated place. I hadn't heard of this place outside of Australia. Maybe it should stay that way, but if you're road tripping around Oz, or if you spend some time in Oz, then you're going to hear about it and understand why it is so special. There's also the Cape Range National Park, which has some beautiful hikes. It has the Charles Knife Gorge, another great place to go for sunrise or sunset in this area. During certain times of the year, there's also the turtle hatching season, which is super special too. There's just so many amazing things to do in this area. It is no surprise that people just keep going back winter season after winter season and spending so much time there. I think that if we were still living in Oz and we were still road tripping around, we probably would have headed back there for winter and just spent a few months snorkeling every day, going for hikes, enjoying the few little cafes there is in town, and just really embracing that traveller van life vibe that they have going on there.
Yes, Exmouth is a developing community. There are lots of little pop-ups and startups and cafes and restaurants, breweries and pizza shops. There's a lot going on there, and you can see it slowly blossoming into a beautiful little town and community, which I think we would love to go back and visit one day.
Yes, definitely one day I'm going to go back there, visit places again like Oyster Stack, Turquoise Bay, which is always popping up in the best beaches of Australia, and Osprey Bay, where we always manage to swim with turtles there. Absolutely incredible place we'll remember for a long time. One we'll always recommend to people if they're asking for our favourite places or hidden gems in Oz. Because it is located about 9 hours north of Perth, it's not super accessible for many travellers unless you are on a road trip. So I think that's why it still has been a little bit hidden or a secret. It's not somewhere you can really easily get to unless you're doing like a big tour of WA's coastline. Maybe it should stay that way, but I think a lot of people are going to be visiting there over the next few years, but I just hope that the natural beauty of this area remains intact. Alright guys, that is the end of our top 10 places in WA. We have a vlog actually for each of these locations, so you can watch them all separately, and I'll put it in the description box below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this.
Leave a comment below if you think we missed anything out on our top 10 WA list. Otherwise, leave a like, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next adventure.
Bye.